We will be putting every starting NFL running back on a tier list, and we're starting off with Minnesota Vikings, Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, for me, I'm putting him in good. He has been a solid running back throughout his career, but he's also getting up there in age. Last year, he did a good job for the Minnesota Vikings. His best days are behind him, in my opinion, but what he has done for Minnesota was really good. The only issue is obviously he's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
And which means they also got Jordan Mason. So like they know that like they're gonna have to switch him a lot. And that because of that, I'm gonna have him at good.
Yeah, like I mean, his Green Bay years, he kind of flip-flopped good, average. Last year was very good in my opinion, and I bank on in that offense he'll be fine. He'll be used perfectly well. Next up, before we even move to Bijan, let's just make it very simple. Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry are for sure in the elite tier. We'll just put them there right now because I'm gonna ask you this question. Is Bijan Robinson already in that elite tier with those two guys, what they did last year? Or do you think he needs another season to prove it? Talk about him, and I'm going to put in Jahmyr Gibbs in this conversation as well.
Here's the thing. Okay, both of them, I put them in the same tier.
Yeah.
Gibbs and Bijan. That is for sure. Gibbs has probably had the better career so far.
Better situation.
Bijan, obviously, is in a better situation, but obviously Bijan, showed his true colors this past season. Are they Saquon and Derrick Henry level? It just feels like to me...
A year too early?
I guess
Especially
a year too early.
Bijan?
Only other person I could put in elite, I could say that they're Saquon and Derrick Henry level is Christian McCaffrey because, I don't care what anyone says. I know that guy's injured a lot, but we all know who Christian McCaffrey is. And he, at the end of the day, when he's on the field, it doesn't matter when he's hot. There's no when it's if he's healthy. It's just when he's on the field, right?
Game changer.
He's a literal game changer, even if he's a little bit knocked up. But overall, I'm gonna move him in right now, an elite. Christian McCaffrey, we know what this dude is. So if you're telling me Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs are at the same level of that right now, I would reply back by saying I think it is probably a year too early.
Yeah, because Jahmyr Gibbs' numbers are up there. Bijan's numbers last year were really good. First of all, are we gonna stick with Bijan because he said his name is Bijan? So we have to respect the name, right?
Look, I'm used to saying Bijan, so obviously
it'll slip up.
It's gonna take time.
Yeah. So Bijan and Jahmyr, we'll put them in great for now, and we'll see how it looks compared to the other guys. But we know for the future, especially with Bijan Robinson, he will hit the elite tier maybe as early as next year. The fact that he was in a tougher situation compared to Jahmyr Gibbs and some of the guys in the elite tier to a certain degree, he did. He was the exciting factor. Him and Drake London last year for the Atlanta Falcons. I really wanted to put him in elite because I think I'm looking at more projecting in that case. And I think our projections will be right. Jahmyr is also splitting time with David Montgomery, which is still good with the numbers he's putting if he's splitting.
Here's the thing. Fantasy-wise, obviously they're elite.
Yeah.
If you're talking about fantasy football, they're 100% in the elite tier. But as of right now, I would say probably 1 year, maybe even half a year, maybe even 5 games too early.
Yeah.
That's how close it is.
If we were to do this maybe halfway through next season or this coming season, and
I feel like it'll be a different conversation.
It might be a different conversation.
And it should be a different conversation because
I ask you,
they should be up there.
Very quickly though, quick answer, we don't have to spend too much time on it. If David Montgomery was on this tier list, because we know he's running back 2 wise, he'll be elite. But if he were to rank it on these guys, he's still in the good tier, right?
He
could be a serviceable.
I know, but
Jahmyr's
Jahmyr.
Yeah.
Breece Hall, I'm gonna put him as good.
Yeah,
little bit disappointing, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Obviously, he had a good rookie year, Breece Hall, but he hasn't really,
Well, rookie year, and he got hurt too.
Yeah, but he hasn't really, taken the next step of it.
Yeah, his second year was very good. His third year did drop off, but the Jets did have a lot of drama and stuff on the offensive side of the ball. So do I expect him to bounce back next year? Yes, because he has Justin Fields as his quarterback, which means you could see in terms of the running the field, it could open up the game a little bit more. He could be the good short yard catch guy because he has the hands, in my opinion, as well. So I do believe in a bounce back, but yeah, he has been disappointing. He hasn't been at the level of if Bijan and Jahmyr are there, he has not been anywhere near that level.
Yeah. Here's the thing with this guy. People expect this guy to take over an offense, take over a game for the New York Jets. That's the hype he was getting during draft time, and he hasn't really done that across the season.
I'm pretty sure he was the first running back drafted, right, in the second round that year.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Breece Hall has that hype, has that factor. Now it's just a matter of putting it together for a whole entire season and obviously being more consistent. Brian Robinson
is for
Jr.
me average.
Average, yes.
Not bad year for a really good Washington team, right? But if you're talking about one of the lower spots of the team, quote unquote, it would be the running back position, and I believe they could upgrade that. Obviously, I think the running back position last year started off with Austin Eckler, and it ended up going to Brian Robinson. But yeah, Brian Robinson, yeah, not a bad year, but he has potential to be good for sure, but he could also be a potential backup. So for that, I think average is fair.
I agree with you. It was one of Washington's weak spots, and was one of Washington's weak spots was the running back position. I'm gonna move forward here with Bucky Irving. Here's the thing: when we look at people in this list and people that we still need to put in the tier list, we have multiple years of evidence and all those things. Where they had one good year, one great year, one probably bad year, and right now with Bucky Irving, we have to base it off the year that he had. And this guy's rookie year was incredible. Yeah. It was really incredible.
1,122 yards in 12 games he started, 5 yards per attempt with 8 total touchdowns.
5.4 yards per attempt is actually really good in the NFL. He didn't even start every game, and he still put up 1,100 yards. This dude, right now, in this moment, has to be in the great tier.
The only reason why I'm hesitant is because of the 1 year sample size. I know we're basing it off that, and once we get to Ashton Genty, that's pure projection. So you're pretty much we're pretty much going to project. You're pretty much saying he's gonna have this type of year again, is what you're.
Yeah, right? But at the end of the day, you got to look at where they are right now. Yeah, there's a situation right now. If this was I'm gonna use Aaron Jones as an example, or Breece Hall as an example. After year 2, Breece Hall, right, we'll be like, oh, this guy's going to be, in the great tier because obviously he had a good season. But obviously now we're looking at it, we're pumping the brakes.
And Bucky's numbers were better than Breece Hall in general.
Right now, it's fair to say to be on the Bucky train. And obviously when you're looking at it, you could genuinely, I have a feeling that we are going to move up Bijan and Jameer into the elite tier.
Once we come do this next year, yeah.
Even maybe into the end of this video. I'm not sure, right? We might look at it. If I don't like to look at it, I'll bring it up again. Yeah. But I have a feeling we might do that or bring that conversation back up again. But that's the situation here. And that's what it is. Aaron Jones, if it was the year before, you probably put him in average.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it was on decline.
That's what he is. And obviously with him having 1 year, it just makes sense. And he didn't start every single game.
Yeah, no, and when he did play, he looked amazing. So I'll give it to you for now. We'll see. It is just weird to see because I feel like Bijan and Jameer did a little bit more in terms of their start to the career. I can't even say that properly. Bucky had a really good year as well. So he's a fan favorite at the moment. We'll keep it right now. We'll keep it appeased there. But next up, fellow Canadian Chase Brown took over the running back one position for the Cincinnati Bengals. To me, once he came in, he was fine. He was good. He finished the year with 990 yards. I will put him in I'll put him in an average for now because when you think of it, he's not really at that running back level. I think he will be best used at a running back 2 in the NFL. This year will be the year to prove it for sure. Bucky looked amazing when he played, right? So obviously we're kind of contradicting ourselves. Then why are they really two tiers apart? But overall, for me, I think when you think Cincinnati Bengals, you think of the two weapons Joe Burrow is throwing to, which is a big part of their offense. Bucky was a big part of their Tampa Bay offense, in my opinion. I think Chase Brown isn't at that level.
Here's the thing, and this is a connection between him and Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
And the reason why they're in this tier. And it's not their fault, but it's just what their offenses are.
Yeah.
It's run through Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels. Yeah. Right? It's going to, at the end of the day, Jaden Daniels rushes himself, which obviously going to take away from Brian Robinson Jr. Joe Burrow and that passing attack is just going to be used every single time. Joe Burrow's literally throwing 50 passes per game. That's how many attempts he's going to have.
Yeah.
That's just limited time for Chase Brown, and obviously even more limited snaps because sometimes the backup running back, whoever it is for them, is going to get some snaps as well. So when you're looking at it, the situation itself just doesn't present itself to be where they could jump up to break out and have be in the good good they can be, but in the great tier. But for like you said, from what they have, or especially Chase Brown, for what he has been put in, he's played his role, which is fine, which is good. But overall, when you're looking at it, just because he's in the Bengals with Joe Burrow, it just feels like he can't really break out.
But I'll say this, potential to be good for sure, because next year, now that we know he's the running back one position from week 1, we'll see how he does. Because the offense is going to be more open.
And they might trust him more.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing. they signed Zach Moss for a reason.
Yeah.
And obviously him getting injured, Chase Brown stepped up. But at this moment, like, we don't know who he is. And the Bengals, I feel like, might trust him more and give him more opportunities. And if that's the case, he definitely can go up this list for sure.
Chuba Hubbard, the fellow other Canadian, took a massive leap this year. If this was just based on strictly last year, it was a great year for sure. But his start of the year wasn't the greatest. It was pretty average. So for that, I'm going to put him at good. Potential to be great if he does this again next year, because Chuba was obviously drafted, I think, 4th or 5th round or whatever at the time. He was very good for Oklahoma State when he played at college. A little disappointing start to the NFL career, but again, you're not expecting that from a 4th, 5th round pick sometimes. But what he did last year was, outside of Bryce Young's comeback in the second half, he was the main reason why the offense was good. And they were able to get some wins, and he was able to provide that way. So for me, I think good is fair at the moment. But if he does what he did last year again, and maybe another year after that, for sure in the great tier.
Yeah, now it's just for him to just rack up good seasons now. Because last year he did break out. And if he does it again, he's going to go up and up in this list. I'm going to go a little bit more quick fire mode here, because I'm seeing some great quarterbacks here. And
Running backs
here. Josh Jacobs is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
He is what they call the bell cow
Yeah.
for the Green Bay Packers. And obviously joining him is going to be our boy, Jonathan Taylor, as well. And we already know what Jonathan Taylor is when he's healthy. He literally carried the Colts when they had Carson Wentz last year, other than him not crossing the goal line in the Denver Bronco games and fumbling at the line. He had a really good year, dropped 1,400 yards, and I don't think he started every single game last year. And obviously Josh Jacobs is literally the Green Bay Packers workhorse, and he's produced for them.
Healthy Jonathan Taylor is going to be in the elite tier. I'll say that, because he was in the MVP conversation the Carson Wentz year. If they had made the playoffs, he had a legitimate shout for it. It just sucks that, like, obviously contract dispute aside, the injuries kind of struggle him. But we saw what Jonathan Taylor looks like at the end of the year. Yes, unfortunate that one gaffe happened. Whether he crossed the line or not is still a debate, but it should not have been a conversation. But he's going to be the focal point of the Colts offense, in my opinion. The run game in general, I guess you could say that. So yeah, both of them there for sure.
And I'm adding Kyron Williams also to that list, because he has put up back-to-back elite years for the LA Rams. He had a stretch last year where he had, I don't know how many games. I think it could have been like, I genuinely forgot how many it is, but like, it's definitely more than 5 games in a row where he scored a touchdown. He is literally Matthew Stafford's safety net. He is Sean McVay's, one big weapon pieces. And obviously we know how much Sean McVay loves his running game. And obviously Kyron Williams has, filled his role exceptionally.
And to save a little bit more time as well, very quickly, the backup tier, Javonte Williams, Jalen Warren, and Jerome Ford. The reason why Javonte Williams, obviously, let's start off with him. He kind of has fallen off a little bit compared to his rookie year, right? And obviously injuries was a little bit factor, but he just wasn't great. Makes sense. He's joined the Dallas Cowboys. He's gonna get somewhat of an opportunity there, whether it be him or Miles Sanders. We don't. Right now, I just went with Javonte Williams because that's what was listed as running back one at the time of this video, but we don't even know who the true running back one's going to be there. Jalen Warren is going to be his first full year as a
Jalen Warren's been a backup.
Yeah.
That's so we don't know what he can do in a full-time starting position. Jerome Ford, I think out of all the 3 of them, has a good potential to move up this list this year, because obviously he had some starting reps last year, and he's had to fill in a lot last couple of years because of Nick Chubb getting injured, and obviously now Nick Chubb is not there anymore.
But going back to our next player here, we have DeAndre Swift. And DeAndre Swift is a tough one, right? Because he didn't really have the production we thought he was going to do at Detroit. He goes to Philly behind that amazing O-line. He was amazing, but he couldn't get the job done, which is why when Saquon became available, you go get Saquon Barkley for the Philadelphia Eagles. And Saquon Barkley was arguably the MVP of the year as well, although Josh Allen ended up winning it. Last year, he was fine. He didn't hit the 1,000-yard mark, but he was still close at 959. I still want to put him in good. I understand people saying expectation-wise, he's average, right? Expectation-wise. But compared to like Chase Brown and Brian Robinson, his sample size is a little bit more. His first 3 years weren't the greatest. The Detroit years were not good. If that was the case, he probably would have been average or backup. His Philly year was amazing, and his Chicago year was not bad. I expect him to be bounced back with now Ben Johnson being head of the table there. That's going to help him a lot. So I'm going to give a slight projection with that as his head coach, and I'm going to give him good.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And then joining him in good, I'm gonna have Devon Achan. And out of Achan and Brees Hall, obviously because they're division rivals, so like they're gonna be, I guess, paired up head to head a lot more. Right now, I have Achan probably, being able to jump up and go into that great tier more so than Brees Hall, because Devon Achan was, pretty solid.
Yeah.
Is the first year when they his first year he came in, him and Raheem Mostert were like, obviously the pacey duo in the running back, and he was literally putting up touchdowns. That year he had, I believe, 7.8 yards per attempt.
Yeah.
Which was absolutely insane. And obviously he was involved in a lot of explosive plays. And right now he hasn't lived up to that, which is going to be really difficult to live up to, 7.8 yards per attempt. But he has been the running back one, so obviously he's going to have more attempts, which is going to bring that number lower. But I think he has done a steady job. I think he has potential to go up. But right now, I'll put him at good.
So before we continue on, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Comment down below, what are your thoughts of this tier list? Just a reminder to everybody, we're not ranking within the tier. They're all just in the same tier. All right. So, but make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and the post notification bell, because we'll be dropping more tier lists. We're dropping our preview and prediction videos as well. We already dropped our quarterback one, so you guys should check that one out as well. And comment down below, which tier list would you guys like to see us do? It could be ranking players at position groups like we are doing right now. It could be something creative, like rank the jerseys or the logos or some weird scenarios you guys want to see. So we would like to hear from you guys down below, and we'll do our best to reply back to those comments as well. But let's get to it. To the next person, and that's James Conner of the Arizona Cardinals. For me, he's a definition of good. Ever since, especially even like with Pittsburgh, he was good. But in Arizona, he's a definition of just get the job done. You're near the end zone. Give him the ball, he'll most likely get you a touchdown. His story is amazing as well. But like, yeah, James Conner, I don't think he's ever shown that he has the capability of being great, but I don't see average in him either. Like, he's a perfect guy just to have like a good complementary running back piece.
Yeah, you got that spot on. James Conner has literally played his role, done his job, and like you said, that's literally the definition of good. But I'm gonna bring up this conversation now. So now we're seeing this tier list shape up a little bit. Do you think Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs should go up? Because a part of me is gonna want to say yes right now.
Part of me is like, I want to, because of, again, the only throw off from there is Bucky. I'm not gonna lie, because I still see the potential of Josh Jacobs and JT with them current day.
Going to elite tier?
No, yeah, but I don't want to put too much in the elite tier, because I still think the three guys, especially if it's a healthy C-Mac there, are maybe half a tier better. If we had another tier in between them, I wouldn't mind doing that. For now, we'll leave it. It's just maybe only one I could drop is Bucky, only based on just what we have, like the.
I'm keeping the Bucky as our wild card one, as our throwing our necks out there.
Yeah.
And right, this is like, this guy's solid. He's done a good job. So I guess if you're gonna keep him there, I'm fine.
We'll keep
with that.
him there for now, because
But I want to keep Bucky there just because, like,
okay, that's fine. I'll give you that.
It was an exceptional year.
Maybe
for
at the end of the video, I might change my mind and put them in elite, because I feel like we are doing a little bit of projecting, so maybe that's why. But we'll keep it there for right now. But next up is James Cook of the Buffalo Bills, who at this moment has officially signed his new contract with the Buffalo Bills, ending the holdout or hold in. And for me, like based on his Joe Brady tenure, he's been great. That's the best way I could put it. I could see an argument for good if you want to, but
I might put him in good just because it feels like playing with Josh Allen does make his life easier.
Yeah,
and I also feel like his situation with Josh Allen limits his opportunities a lot more as well. So we can't really see a full-fledged James Cook either, which obviously not necessarily his fault. But I feel like he also has good running backups and. Ray Davis, who could fill his job, and obviously Ty Johnson as well, who were big factors.
But I'll give you his stats.
I don't think his stats were
Okay, so here's his
crazy.
Stats.
Other than touchdowns,
so it's 2 years. The 2 years that he was a Pro Bowler, the last 2 years. The first of those 2 years, he had 1,122 yards, but only 2 touchdowns. Second year, his last year, just this past season, it was 1,009 yards, but he had 16 touchdowns as well. Receiving wise, he hasn't really been the biggest receiver. No, not really. Like his 2023 year, yes, he was 445 yards, but his past year was 258 yards of receiving as well. Sometimes you got to look at the receiving yards for some of these guys, like Alvin Kamara, who's going to be coming up soon here. If you want to put him in good and say I'm fine with that. It's up to you. 16 touchdowns, though?
That's a lot, though.
That's a lot. I think he led the league.
He did.
So
leave
I feel like you have to put him in great for now.
for that reason. Okay, I'll
Just because he got the 6 points
true.
every time, right? Like
that is true. He finished off the drives. That I 100% agree with that.
we'll see again. Well, we'll judge it at the end. We'll see how it ends up going.
I'm gonna pair these guys up together, and that's gonna be Najee Harris, and I'm putting him in good, and Ramondre Stevenson, and I'm gonna put him as good for now. But honestly, I think I could put him average right now.
I don't know why you paired those two, but
no. Here's the reason why I paired those two, right? And I'm probably gonna move Ramondre down in average.
Yeah.
But these are two people that could get their jobs replaced.
True. Okay, yeah, I see why now.
Amari Hampton is right there waiting for Najee Harris, and he could overtake Najee Harris, even though Najee Harris has been like a consistent 1,000-yard rusher. Ramondre Stevenson last couple of years has not been good. Let's be honest. Like he hasn't lived up to that year where he got over 1,000 yards, and Trayvon Henderson is waiting for him.
Yeah.
So like if I'm looking at it, I could move Ramondre Stevenson down right now at the moment. But the reason why I want to pair him up because I feel like these two people's jobs can be replaced if they don't play at that good to great elite level.
Starting with Najee, 1,000 yards every year. It doesn't feel like that. Right? I don't want to say empty stats because that's not fair to any athlete. Empty stats. I guess the only would be like the garbage time minutes or whatever the case may be. But I feel like he's still good. Like I understand he hasn't probably lived up to the guy that was drafted in the first round, and he's supposed to be this next guy from Alabama running back wise. He has not done that. Don't get me wrong, but he's still like can he? I think he's still at the same level as James Conner.
I'm gonna move Ramondre down.
Ramondre, you can move down. I won't disagree with that. Only 801 yards last year, 690 the year before, but the year before he only played 12 games.
Look at the fumbles the past season though. Just look at that.
7.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
So,
you shouldn't be fumbling that much.
I agree. Ramondre Stevenson had obviously the good year in his second year in the league, but after that, like it's kind of one of those situations where a running back you see pop off and then something
just injuries
or something derailed him. But I'm gonna agree with that so far.
Ashton Genty.
This is gonna be based on pure projection. We know he's a running back 1. Najee, like okay, here's the thing with sorry, before you go to Ashton Genty. Right now, Najee, we're putting him there. I understand he's injured. We don't even know if he's going to be the week 1 starter.
Yeah, it could be Hampton.
So it still could be Hampton off the bat, but we're just going with Najee for the moment because that's where he's listed. He's not officially on the unactive pup list. If we were going Amari Hampton would also, in my opinion, be the good tier because I think
Ashton Genty is going to be in that tier too, just because obviously we have nothing to base it off.
Yeah,
and obviously people are memeing him for his preseason performances so far, but let's be honest, it's preseason.
1 game, yeah.
1 game. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Genty, like if he is as advertised, he's great.
He's probably gonna. He's at the Bijan level.
Yeah, he's great. He touching elite like Gibbs and Bijan Robinson. Simple as that.
Yeah. I think it's just unfair because like we don't
know.
College, he played at Boise State. Some people have the argument of he didn't play elite competition really, which is fair argument as well. But again, when running backs, I understand. I saw the comments about was it Trent Richardson, whoever it was, who got drafted top 3 and was a bust. Outside of him, we don't see many running backs that are drafted in the top 10, especially, kind of fall off immediately, right? Todd Gurley was because of injuries. We get that, right? Christian McCaffrey right now is because of injuries, but even then we have him in the elite tier. So yeah, like I think he's gonna be great, but just for the sake of just being fair, we'll put him at good. And I know he's not going to be a backup or an average. Like, he might be the Brock Bauer of running back next year. Who knows?
J.K. Dobbins had a prove year last year, and he performed really good for the LA Chargers. This year, he's a Denver Bronco. The difference, I feel like he's obviously on another prove it deal because this dude just gets injured a lot. And last year, he did miss games again. Not as many as, his torn Achilles and torn ACL when he did for the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. But J.K. Dobbins is a talented running back. He proved that to me last year. So I think he'll have another good year for the Denver Broncos if he stays healthy. Hopefully he could get
They also drafted a running back in the second round.
If he stays healthy, I think he should be able to get a bigger and a longer term contract for any team the year after the next offseason.
Next up is Joe Mixon, who is in the same boat as Najee Harris at the moment, who is at the moment week 1 starter, no doubt about it. But the injury, for me, last year was very amazing. I think he was good in general with the Cincinnati days. I think he's great if we're strictly basing off of that. I don't think he's in the good tier. That's just me. I know you have him there.
I thought you put him good.
No. I'm saying the story of Najee is the same as story as Joe Mixon in terms of.
And Joe Mixon's great.
Yeah.
He's in the great tier. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. I have him in the
great tier. I thought you said good.
No. I'm saying I have him in the great tier.
Okay, yeah, he's great. Yeah, that's what I was looking at you.
Like he was a big factor of, the run game kind of helped him a lot with CJ kind of struggling in his sophomore year compared to his rookie year. Yes, unfortunate injury. So that's the other thing. But like, again, he proved that he's still a top running back. Me and you were still kind of annoyed that the gap between him and JT isn't that big in terms of the Madden ratings. And especially the first year with Houston, there was no reason why he should have been where he was. But he proved everybody wrong in that sense. So I have no reason for him not to be in great. However, if we were to put Nick Chubb, who's back, who's looking right now, could be a week 1 starter. Because of the injuries, but when he is on the field, we put Christian McCaffrey in elite. In my opinion, when healthy, Nick Chubb was the second after Christian McCaffrey before Saquon obviously proved it.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
Pretty much.
Here's the caveat. When Christian McCaffrey came back from his injuries, he still looked elite.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb didn't do that. And he played a few games when he came back from his first big injury. He was not good. So this could be a situation where the injuries really screwed him over, because we can't really say that. With McCaffrey, we've seen this guy come back from injuries, him missing a little whole season, and be elite at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's why there's a difference there. So for Nick Chubb, I'll still put him probably in good just because of what he has done in the past. But overall, And
the other thing why Joe Mixon is great as well, and Nick Chubb is going to have to deal with this, their O-line is not good. And the fact that he did very well with that terrible O-line in Houston, that's why he's in the great tier.
Alvin Kamara, I'm going to put him in good.
I can't.
Look, bro,
I can't.
It's dropping a little bit.
It is dropping.
It's dropping. And we're talking about right now, right? We're literally talking about right now. And I know this guy has to put together some elite years. Don't get me wrong. But I just feel like, I don't feel like he is on, I just feel like he's a little step behind now. And I know the Saints are a little shitty situation. So obviously he just literally has no help offensively. But when I'm looking at it right now, my initial thought is good.
My initial thought is still great. I don't know.
What was the numbers last year?
950 yards in 14 games.
So you had to look at
4.2 yards an attempt. For him, you have to look at the receiving ones. And receiving wise, he had 68 receptions for 543 yards, 8 yards per reception. He was pretty much, once Chris Olave went out, he was the main focus on the offense.
To be fair, Alvin Kamara, I believe it was last year, right? Didn't start off on a heater.
Yeah.
I'll say that much. But obviously the Saints and
again, for him, injuries have been a concern for the last couple of years as well.
And Saints and Derek Carr have cooled them down. Have cooled down obviously last year to the point that Derek Carr retired. Obviously that was because of injury point. I could see an argument for great, but
this was his most rushing yards was last year.
Yeah, but it's weird to see. Here's the thing, I just don't see him at the level at people in great anymore. And obviously Bucky Irving's a little bit of projection, so I'm not gonna put
the
that.
The problem is his team's gonna be ass this year.
It's gonna. But look, we docked Brian Robinson, we docked Chase Brown on their situation because they might not have the opportunities because of their quarterback play being so good and taking over little games. And I almost docked that for James Cook as well. So that's what I'm looking. I'm looking the same situation for Alvin Kamara, but
still had
I could still see an argument for great. This is probably one of the comments I feel like people should comment down below if Alvin, this is the one I'm probably confused about the most. Out of all the running backs I had a general picture, Alvin Kamara is the one where
I think
I
just can't accept it. It's probably my issue here at the moment, but I still think if he were to be traded, which I think he will be a good trade candidate or a buyout candidate, and he goes to a good team, he's gonna prove his worth once again. That's what I'm gonna say. We'll keep him in good for right now, and we'll see how this ends up. I still think I would love to move him in great, but let's move on to Kenneth Walker. For me, potential to be great, but he's currently in the good tier. Potential to be great. The reason why is his O-line let him down. Last year, he missed a couple of games through injury as well. But when Kenneth Walker plays, we've seen the elite Kenneth Walker, right? It sucks that his O-line was terrible, and we'll see what happens this year. As well, they're going to be running the ball more this year as well. They've got a new running back in. They've preached that basically from the news I've been seeing around the Seahawks camp, reporters down there as well. He has the potential to be great, but for right now, he is good.
Yeah, I agree. Isaiah Pacheco for me right now is average. Pacheco has obviously entering his third year, I believe, and his first year was really good. And obviously he was a 7th-round rookie then. He came out of nowhere. He performed well. Playoffs that year, he performed even better. Last year, obviously the injuries, kind of ruined it for him. But the games he did play, and then when he came back from injury, he was not good. He genuinely wasn't, that great.
He's in the Chase Brown tier for me. Literally, that's what it is.
So obviously the situation on you're gonna have Mahomes and Kelsey take over, your opportunities might be limited. But Reed has been focusing on running the ball more. And that year, in his rookie year, he did run more. I'm not sure if he reached 1,000 in his rookie year. I don't think he did, because they also spread out their running back usage as well. And obviously with Kareem Hunt being there, they might do the same thing. But when I'm looking at Isaiah Pacheco, I just feel like he has to prove it again one more time, just because of last year just wasn't a good performance, and obviously the injury. So he might need to, have that good rookie type year that he had again, so he could get up in the tier list for me.
Next up is Tony Pollard. And initially, without looking at anything, I was like, average. He just reminds me of average. But then when I look at his stats, his 2 years that he was a full-time starter, the last year with Dallas, and then this past year with Tennessee, who were ass, by the way. He played all games, he played all 17 with Dallas. He played 16 and started all 16 with Tennessee. He had 1,005 yards with Dallas, 1,079, so even better with Tennessee.
Yards per attempt?
Yards per attempt were 4 and 4.2. So I would say he's good. I have to say good.
I guess the numbers are there.
Yeah.
I'll say that much. The numbers are there, so I would budge for that. But again, it's kind of like the Najee one where it feels a little bit empty.
Yeah.
Travis Etienne.
So he's the flip of who was it? Who had the great Chuba, where obviously Travis Etienne was also first round pick. You got to think of that as well. Same draft class as Najee. He's the better running back overall when it comes down to it, in my opinion. Last year was awful. He was not good at all.
He was god awful.
So if it was strictly based off last year, he was for sure average. But his
probably backup, bro. He's like freaking Tank Bigsby took over.
True, right? But his start of the year is so good. He was amazing in my opinion.
You mean career?
Yeah, his start of the career.
Yeah.
Not
career.
Year. Start of the
because
career.
Last year was just ass.
Yeah. Last year he was not good. But then the way he started this past year, I'll quickly pull it up here as well. It was amazing. He was borderline great, definitely good. So for that, I'm still gonna bank on a bounce back. That's what I'm gonna say.
I'll give it to you. I would say I'll put him in good right now, but let's be honest, because his first 2 years were good.
Yeah, first 2 years, 1,125 yards and 1,008 yards, right? Kenneth Walker's, he was second to Olroy in the first year, right? Yeah. His numbers only dropped off because of the last year he was also injured, but his O-line was an ass. I understand why people might even look at this and put Kenneth Walker on average strictly on last year, but I'm gonna put that to the side. Travis Etienne, in my opinion, with a new offense under Liam Cohen, and I'm even including Trevor Lawrence, and I said this in the quarterback video, I believe they're going to bounce back, which is why, I don't know where we ended up putting Trevor Lawrence on the tier list, but I feel like Travis Etienne should be good.
I know, Etienne has more evidence. Etienne has put together more good years and bad years in his career, unlike Trevor Lawrence, but that's obviously a different debate. But when I'm looking at it, Travis Etienne, I would give it to you. It's good. He has a little bit of evidence of that, so let's just say it is a one-off, and let's see if he bounces back. Tyrone Tracy. Last year, he was good. He was a rookie. He came in, took over the Giants starting spot. He did not play every single game last year.
He played every game, but he only started 12.
He only started 12. So
finished off with 839 yards per attempt, 4.4.
If he started every single game last year, he would be a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him in average right now just because, obviously, the sample size is very less. But this guy has potential. Yeah. I'll say that much.
But they also drafted Cam Skattebo.
And they also drafted Cam Skattebo. So obviously that's gonna suck for him. But when I'm looking at it right now, there's something to work with for Tyrone Tracy, in my opinion. And I feel like, he can move his way up in the running back rankings over the season, and maybe potentially next year he could be in a good, maybe even great tier.
So that pretty much wraps it up for us. I'm fine with it. I'm still looking at Alvin Kamara to move up to great, but then I know what your counter is going to be. Then we got to put Gibbs and Robinson up at
yeah, there's no way I can put Dole.
So for now, I'll keep it. I'll let you take the Kamara one. I think for me, I'm also I love Alvin Kamara as a player.
Yeah,
so that's the factor as well.
Out of all
just
the
idea of
the
type of
out of all these running backs, I had a general idea.
With
Alvin Kamara, I genuinely had no idea.
Alvin Kamara once upon a time was literally half a tier below Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
in his prime,
literally,
right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. For now, you're right. He is taking a step back. He's on a shitty team, which is not his fault. But I'm gonna say this right now to Saints fans, or just football fans in general, if he is off the Saints and goes to a better situation, I feel like he'll bounce back for sure. But we'll leave it here right now.
Rush for 1,000 yards though.
Yeah,
that's also.
We'll see what happens there. But yeah,
there.
comment down below what you guys think. This is a valid tier list? What changes we will make? As mentioned, hit the subscribe button. We already dropped our quarterback tier list below. That video will be popping up on the screen right now. So make sure you guys check that video out, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.